In California, low-income housing is at least 20% more expensive than if it was constructed um, for market housing, which is absurd. Um, of the apologetics, which is essentially the reasons that people believe that. Um, the Holy Scriptures never argue one way or the other for the existence of God. They assume the existence of God. So they don't argue, they don't set any arguments for or against his existence. The Holy Scriptures are a book of theology, which they talk about what the nature of God is, what is he like, and uh, how does he interact with human beings and his creation? How does he reveal himself and his character? So I've just been thinking about this. What if we switch the question rather than trying to prove whether or not God exists? We wanted to prove whether or demonstrate, probably better than prove, demonstrate that belief in God and belief in his spirit and following that, surrendering to that, if we could demonstrate that that's a best practice. I'm not saying you can, but I'm saying if you could, it made people happier. If that was the result, the claims that it makes, that you're happier, society runs better, you perform better, all of those things. If you could demonstrate that categorically and empirically, so that whether or not God exists, the belief in him would be a best practice, then could you then extrapolate that to say that demonstrates his objective existence? Interesting train of thought, because basically, scientifically, you would have to then address that conclusion. Because if it's a best practice to believe in him, then that would mean that we are designed, and I don't mean designed versus um, um, evolution, because again, that's to me a completely, I guess it's a red herring. It's uh, uh, evolution is design. It's just a way of designing. So regardless of what you believe the causal actions are, we have right in front of our face the most incredible design process we've ever encountered. Um, so you'd have to admit that we were designed to believe in deity in a certain belief sector. Then you would have to take those beliefs seriously if they gave such abundant fruit, because whatever argument you make against it would not be as good, because it would not, the believing that, even if you so, because it's humans that are doing the believing in whatever case, whether you make a scientific argument or you make an argument from the evidence of the belief. So there's really no such thing as objectivity. We're all subjective.